talk about this Sunset because they have such different like identities and philosophies on what they want to do. Profek, he's not going to do that. He's just trolling us. But since FUT have locked in, where do you guys sit on the Raze Fade KO?
I think in the grand scheme of things, you know, KO, you know, whatever, but cracks on KO, it makes sense. You know, it does not seem on KO is usually a bit strange. So yeah, I think for a FUT composition, this is fine.
Yeah, I think so. I'm glad that Profek is not going to tease us with that club. The last time we saw the club from him was on that terrible icebox. So either way, I actually really like BBL's composition here. You know, I've been saying it, I'm a Deadlock lover. I really enjoy watching it. I think Magnum on the Viper as well has looked super strong. Levin on the Neon as well. This head-to-head with Zeus on the Raze I think is really interesting for me. So yeah, I think starting on the attack, it might be a little bit difficult to be able to set Levin up considering they only have the Sova. But other than that, I do enjoy watching BBL's composition on Sunset.
Yeah, there's a ton you can look into in terms of footage and counter as well, especially when the side swap, the way that Sociable likes to save his utility on that Deadlock, likes to be annoying with it as well. FUT has to have a game plan.
Yeah, for sure. Like, especially with the composition, like they don't, like BBL don't have a Sentinel, so like that is going to be a gap on both attack and defense that maybe they could look into exploiting.
Yeah, I have to agree, but I think even saying that, Magnum has just looked so strong on the Viper. Like, we see this as a pseudo Sentinel on a lot of maps, so I think that I don't really have worries about that necessarily.
Yeah, I guess I should clarify. Obviously, Deadlock is a Sentinel, but it doesn't have the same trips or information. Like, you can move past those trips, so that is the only disadvantage of this BBL composition, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think Krax is going to be such a linchpin, right, in this. He could, he has what it takes to mini thwart a lot of BBL's plans.
Yeah, especially on that attack. Once they're on that attack side, he can be throwing those knives, and if he is able to catch the Deadlock and Viper, that's going to be key. Especially as BBL love to play that Viper on the B side of the map, it's going to be quite easy for him at times to hit that knife on him. And it'd be interesting to see what the chess game is here. If FUT prepared for that, and BBL prepared for the knife in anticipation.
Yeah, and I want to make sure you guys know that Krax KO, we will not see Andy replays of him missing lineups. There will be no team flashes. This guy, have you ever seen him team flash? I haven't. He is on point, and going through that Viper War, it's going to be so fun to see what he does here. And speaking of fun, what's more fun than Mitchman and Tombiz?
I can think of plenty of things, especially the matchup we've got down on this stage. It is going to be a belter. And one, Tom, that we have seen many times before, even since the partnership era began.
Yeah, that's sort of the fun thing going into this matchup, as it almost feels like a little bit of a decider with so much on the line. Of course, the pride of Turkey both facing off against each other for BBL and FUT. That's a title to behold. Now, this year, it has been all BBL. It's never really been before that, but they have come out on top a lot of the time. But then the stakes for FUT are even higher. This is a difference between a victory here, putting them in second place in the group, and a loss here, putting them out. For BBL, it's the difference between third and fourth, lower bracket, or a match versus Fnatic, which neither of those are particularly good options. But for FUT, it is literally all or nothing.
That's it. The stakes quite high for this matchup. We've seen it many times, as we said. We've seen it more this year than any year before, but it's always gone to BBL. This roster, taking it to new levels. Let's see if they can continue on their rise, as Zeus is the one to take down Levin, a head-to-head that we'll be talking about a lot throughout the day. But Profek, the one to trade him out, opening some space now for BBL to wrap around and put pressure on this B site, where now only Krax remains.
Oh, it's a good opportunity, but Profek just full sprint behind him has made this a fairly favorable pistol round. CNED has been in some decent form recently playing the Omen. I didn't have high expectations when the league began, but he's definitely made it look good. Mr. Fallen alongside him, but now already being spotted. The reveal from Yumpy will help him out, and while CNED, not really many angles left to fight. It's awkward, but it is definitely a fairly clean round for BBL.
A 1-0 start, only one player down, and it's the first man in who ran through a nade. But as we'll often see, it's not about finding the kill in that position, it's the space, and it was left wide open for Profek. He finds himself a double, lands them, that site control, and from there, It's a nice round, and it's got Yumpy getting loud down on the stage already.
Well, I think it was actually Magnum was putting on Twitter that he wanted to see if they could outshout Yettage. So they're not just going to try and beat FUT. They're not just going to try and eliminate them, but they're going to try and take away what makes them special as well. That is just, it's brutal. They want to take everything they've got and more.
Quite taxing on the vocal cords to even attempt that kind of feat. And, well, we'll see how that progresses. Certainly, if they keep getting rounds, they might be the louder down on that stage. A 1-0 start, the attack side of BBL. And I think you're talking about BBL in general this year is looking like a far better team than we've ever seen before. They've been close to playoffs in the past, but this is a roster that we can see, that we have seen perform on the international scene. And when it comes to looking at champions, I think now I would be pretty confident that if we send them there as a region, we can rely on them to do some damage at a minimum to those other international teams. And I'm not sure I would have said that at any point throughout previous iterations of the roster. As individually promising as they were, here we just see a very well put together machine top to bottom.
Yeah, boy, you even just look back to them playing at EWC and taking maps and matches versus the likes of DRX Sentinels. Like, these are a solid roster, which I think if you sent the old team, we wouldn't have that expectation of at all. So they've proven they can do it, but this group stage has looked a little different because it has been tight all the way through. Like, coming down to the last couple of weeks for pretty much every single team within the group, even mates who've gone out in that last place, it felt like they could have had 3 wins on the board. So it's an early tech pause.
A fan favorite.
Now, I do believe that this happened before when we saw that ridiculous Ascent map that went for 48 rounds. So you never know. Maybe this is a time that we are going to be seeing further crazy matches.
You guys get me every time. We see that red go up and it's the let's go tech pause chant. And honestly, it rivals, if not beats, some of the team chants I've heard out there. I think we're pushing the limits here in the MEA. Liquid. I hate to say, I probably should be more generic, but it's
literally the same chant.
It's not great. Yeah, well,
you just like it because it goes red.
I like the color
only
scheme.
difference.
I like the color scheme. What can I say? But yeah,
we're not getting a zoom in of who spilt water this time.
It's not the same though. I believe that we will win. I believe that we can win.
Oh, I thought you just meant let's go liquid.
No, I mean that one's fine.
Okay,
that's a classic.
I would have thought that was weird if that was.
No, but there's some workshopping to be done on the other one.
I believe that we will win. That's a very American chant. I'm not a fan.
Keep it across the pond.
I like, keep it over there. Come up with some of the more, like the Premier League style chants, but we'll have to censor about 99% of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've been to one game, and I don't think I can replicate anything that I heard there. But
no, probably not.
The energy was great.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say
that.
Good
energy, just censor them, just every word, almost. Oh, God. But yeah. Hopefully, you could see the ready checks already being made, so we should be getting back into things quickly. Now, I want to touch on what was said on the desk as well about the map pool coming into this one, because you look at Sunset, it was a close loss to GX and a solid victory versus mates for the side of FUT, and then a solid victory versus mates and a close defeat versus Heretics for BBL. So, like, it does feel like, although this is a choice, and as we'll see with Ascent as well, a lot of these maps feel like middle grounds for both teams.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Ascent if we can get even a fraction of what we had, not the last time, but the one before.
I don't know if excited is the word I'd use.
Oh, I am ready to see that down on the stage. But for now, we're back into things, and as BBL won the pistol, FUT left to classics. They're saving their credits for the next. It's not somewhere they should do a lot of damage.
CNET's got very far.
Many times we say that, and then things go awry. And indeed, with CNET already pushing up, and again, discussed on the desk, not having that Sentinel to keep consistent control, right? The deadlock's a little more situational. They have to make noise. You can still creep past. Look at how much space he's gotten. He's wrapping up behind. No one's checking it, but how much can he get with that classic?
One. Okay, not bad. But I was worried he was just going to spam at 3 different players and not get anything done. He's going to be trapped out by the barrier, unfortunately. Still a couple of players within the site, but realistically, with the 3 rifles still in hand, it's not going to be too much of a problem. Some danger. And CNET around, that's always going to be the case, but BBL do well to make sure it doesn't cause them too many issues.
Yeah, in this round, it doesn't play that much of a role, especially because CNET, the guy he takes down, didn't see if he had the rifle. He did have the rifle, but it gets picked up immediately, I think, by Sociable. So this is the problem. You don't actually get anything for your trouble. Even in terms of damage, you're taking the shields off, and that's about it. But when we come into the next couple rounds, that's where this same... This is where the same kind of issue can pop up, right? You've, in round 2, seen the gap, seen the issue with this composition rear its ugly head. If that happens in a bye round, it's a completely different scenario.
Oh, 5 rifles in, an aggressive start into mid. This is something that BBL have enjoyed doing throughout their time on this map. Nice shot from Mr. Fallen. What? He gets both? He was nearsighted for both of those fights. Somehow lives to tell the tale.
You still see the tracer, still see the flash of the barrel. He caught it from his POV. Pressure on for the remaining players to get some value in Yumpy's drop. That's the spike down in market, and everyone else with it. It's only Sociable standing on this side. His wall blocking reinforcements, but 2 players to deal with. He does well, but he's down to 3 HP. A tickle will take him down, and it's CNET to deliver 2 to 1. Still in favor of BBL.
Yeah, from the position of Sociable, that's not bad. Like, being able to take down a couple at the end at least makes it interesting. But yeah, it is. It's just a whiff spray coming out 11, and well, you give all of that over. Yeah, I guess sliding with the Bulldog is a little bit optimistic. I think if that's a Phantom, he probably gets away with that one, but yeah, not in this case.
Well, if it's a Ghost, he probably gets it.
I think, yeah, this guy has seen that tweet. I think he's definitely seen it. He's like, all right, challenge accepted.
Right here.
The foot means that Mr. Fallen is now on a Bulldog himself. An early space. They are fighting very aggressively early, but once again, Levin's gone down.
Yeah, not without the trade. Again, it's going to be Profek. Old reliable.
Not that
into
old.
This 4v4, but look at the push-up coming in from FUT. Got players on short, the Prowler goes through, but a double stack up in mid is where my eye is drawn, and this is exactly it. The danger walked into by Yumpy, and he walks out as well. A huge pickup, but it's returned.
IGL
Again, it's Mr. Fallen with the double, and we're back to a 2v2, but the A site, correctly read by BBL, is wide open.
Yeah, that's 2 rounds back to back. I watch Mr. Fallen blind get 2 kills, and I watch Yumpy peek into a stack and get 2 kills. It seems like there's some sort of plot armor protecting the IGLs at this case. Nice Seize nade. Well, no, actually, the nade's gone too far. The Seize was perfect, but not going to be able to catch. Paranoia available for Profek. Probably just waiting for the contact of his teammate. No, he's going to go a little bit early, and that works out for Sociable. And now with ult online, there is no escape for Mr. Fallen. The luck, the plot armor seems to have run out, and BBL will be able to take themselves or increase themselves in the lead.
That's a 3-1 scoreline now. The damage that Sociable was able to do in round number 3
that makes no sense.
Could come back to haunt them. They lost a few more rifles than they wanted. Here, Mr. Fallen again does so well. I mean, you mentioned the previous round, then Yumpy here. Mr. Fallen does it again in re-clearing that space and giving them a chance. But they couldn't take it across the line on the side of FUT. And now look what they're left with indeed. The damage done is enough to force them down to pistols. Sheriffs in the hands of a Turkish team. I mean, that is not a free round, but BBL will be happy to not face the rifles.
Yeah. The fun thing about this map at the moment as well is it feels like both teams have started on their favored side. Last couple of times at least. Versus Mates 9 attack rounds. Versus DRX, back EWC 8 attack rounds. And then for the other side of FUT, 7 and 8 defensive rounds respectively. So this could be quite a telling first half. If I've learned anything from both of these teams is that sometimes those statistics don't matter, and it's a lot more about the momentum that they find, especially someone like Levin. A slow start for him so far, but if he gets anything, he's just going to run away with it. And I think the parallel can definitely be made to Zeus on the other side.
Big defensive rotation coming around towards that A site. 4 players here. You're going to make these over rotations when you've got pistols. You want to have the numbers to greet them.
But where are the attackers?
But this is the problem. BBL are walking into the B site. They're taking that space, and there's some traps waiting, but without someone to follow up to take those kills through the smoke when the players are revealed, it ultimately doesn't matter. And this is all just Yumpy selling this fake, selling this ruse. They've realized now that the play is B, but they're rotating too little too late. I think the best Mr. Fallen can do is hold on to control. He's even looking for a pick, but numbers are where FUT can find the advantages. Retaking together could give them a chance.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the other sniper. It's going to make things awkward. Not a bad trade, though, from Zeus, but they're running through a snake bite, and well, those are going to be the easiest kills we've ever seen for BBL. Vulnerable players, they tried to go for the element of surprise, but there was no surprise to be had. CNED, I'm hopeful he'll get one, but not in this case. Magnum to trade it out with 3. And I want to point out something that is quite, maybe not common, but something that Yumpy regularly likes to do. He's done it in buy rounds as well. I remember around specifically last time I casted him on this map on B, where he just threw in that drone on the other side of the map with a dart to fake things out. So a lurking Sova, definitely not the most common. But when he's feeling confident in the calls, he's happy to do that. But need to be aware. In this round, it's fine. You only have pistols, you're going to gamble, you're going to take bigger risks. But if he does that in a buy round and you give them a free sight, that's a problem.
Oh, a 4-1 start. Here's the buy round for FUT. As you said, defensive side will expect to see rounds put up on the board, and I think for FUT, no better time than here and now. Credits built up by BBL. Early push towards market. They've pushed them back. They've seized the space. The Hunter's Fury goes through. It's searching the back site, not yet finding the players. They're dodging it masterfully. Keeping that foothold. Levin's gone running through!
What?
CNED trains it back for 2, but Levin's not going anywhere. There's a reason we called this man a lunatic starting out his tenure here on BBL. Walking through a smoke to give them a double, trading them back out, and now an ace on the cards. Mr. Fallen, the man who has pulled FUT out of some disadvantageous positions. Well, he has quite the task. 5 bullets and 5 kills in the round. Lights out from Levin, and a big lead for BBL.
There are moments where I watch this man and I genuinely question if I should be happy or sad that that's worked. Because it's insanity. Like, that is a man walking through a smoke with 2 players on either side watching. He kills both of them, runs back into another angle, and immediately gets 2 more headshots. Like, the raw individual skill of Levin may genuinely be unmatched at this stage. And I'm talking about him coming up against FUT. Like, that was Zeus on the other side. A man that you go back to last stage, he had the highest ACS, I think it was like in week 2, in the world. Like, of any region, anyone, it was Zeus. Right now, he's being farmed.
I almost want to see it again. The audacity of Levin to walk through that smoke. I couldn't believe my eyes. Sitting inside it, sure, I thought, oh, he's waiting for them to try to retake market.
But they put a boombot through, right? So he just activated. He was like, okay, this guy's just used a piece of utility. Yep. He's not going to be watching this.
But they were, right? Not only was the player who put the boombot through of Zeus, you know, spamming it, he also had backup just holding, just in case, because they know who they're against. They know that sometimes BBL do something that would have most coaches molding. But that one right there, no doubt, has sent shivers down the spine of the coaching staff on FUT, if not the players too. Levin's 3rd ace in VCT EMEA, and with the way he's playing, there's plenty more to come.
I reckon it also sent a shiver down the spine of the BBL coaching staff when he walked through that smoke.
What are you doing?
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, never mind. Good job.
Yeah, that's one that would have been brought up in the VOD review if he went down. But now it'll be... I'm not sure you bring it up in the VOD review. You just go, good round, by the way. Let's move on to the next.
3rd ace. There's quite a few players yet to even break 1, but Levin... he did it recently on Lotus as well, in their crazy comeback versus mates. And while he's proven time and time again that sometimes he has that individual brilliance that is not enough to win them around. And the unfortunate truth is that was FUT coming in with a bye. So they now are back to pistol and got basically nothing from that.
They broke the door. The Prowler cleared mid, or so they thought, but Magnum has taken free space. Yedishay's watching it. Turns just in time to catch Magnum. Okay, now they've got themselves a rifle to play with. It's in the hands of Yedishay, and there's numbers all over the B side, but look at the rotation. A big move from the attackers. They're going to leave, but they're caught on the way. CNED walked out, catches 2, gives them a chance that now they won't let slip. Okay, Levin, you got your ace, but now you need to save the round. 8 and 3 at the moment. Cracks Mr. Fallen, and Zeus
Spike planted.
up against him as the plant comes in.
It would have to be 9 kills in 2 rounds for him to take this one. He's got the spacing bang on. They are watching for it though. Good read from FUT. Around of the last few looked the least likely, but they have managed to make it work. CNED especially, catching them on that rotation was everything. To get away with 1 is nice. To reposition for a second was just fantastic.
Yeah, that was really, really nicely done because, again, having the read on B, having to rotate like that, we discussed it in the previous Sheriff round for FUT, you're going to over-rotate. You're going to be quicker to make those calls in a round where you don't have the rifles to hold on without the numbers advantage. But as soon as they heard steps inside main, and I assume it was Yedije calling for that, immediately CNED fills the space on mid, holds for that rotate. They needed that. Otherwise, this would have been an almost impossible retake, even with a few weapons recovered. But a second round, one that we hope to see on the board earlier for FUT. They have to capitalize from this point, though. We have to see them build on that previous upset.
Oh, okay. Zeus has caught Levin a little bit by surprise. That one-way works for a reason. And with already the amount of damage done, this is starting to look devastating. The wind back in FUT's sails. CNED with another double. He plays this Omen almost like a duelist at times with how aggressive he's willing to be, but it definitely works out for him. For Yumpy and Sociable, well, a kill for Sociable would grant his ult. But it's very situational. The chance to get it here, not quite though. Zeus, a third for him. And what, a third for FUT.
It's so important for Zeus to hold the line there as well. Like you said, Sociable 1 away from finding that deadlock ulti, and if it comes down to a 1 versus 2, that could very well turn the tide in your favor. Despite the fact that we have this deep control as well, given up towards short, CNED's able to hold his ground. He takes down the first that we saw. He took down Profek, who was on 30 HP after that earlier fight. That has given FUT a real foothold now in the early half, but we progress. A few more rounds to play for. BBL still on rifles, still with credits thanks to this strong start. And now they've got ultimates to play around as well. Sociable dying gave him his Magnum with the Viper's Pit as well. It's going to make it much more difficult if any ground is conceded to take it back.
Yeah, the good thing for FUT is winning the prior, around their second round,
Cover going out.
while having a low buy. It's put them in a decent spot economically, and on the other side of things, BBL is starting to run out of cash. So if they can take this round, it's almost going to be worth 2. Put them right back into the mix. Losing it, they'll still have another chance to fight, but as I said, with their hopes a lot of the time relying more so on this defensive side, I think they're going to want a little bit more of just leveling up.
Poison's on.
It's strange to look at this series and imagine that, at least for me, FUT winning is an upset. BBL looks stronger than I think any time that they faced before, and in the times where FUT won, they were in a much better position within the league, within recent performances. There's the pit going in, but the spikes moving to mid. This is all a ruse, and it's working wonderfully. Look how many players there are. Oh, I got all 4 of them. Towards this A site. Up close is Magnum, not expected to be that aggressive. He's looking back towards the site. That was a headshot, but CNED barely surviving. He went down to 7 HP.
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
But he hasn't breathed his last, thankfully, as we're still in this 4v4. Profek will be found close.
And he knows where they are, though. And caught with utility out. Trading 1 for 1 while hit by the Nightfall. It's not bad. The ults are being expended here for FUT. They're throwing everything in. Null Command used, Nightfall used. They need to try and get something from this. And Levin, he's not been checked in the corner. Him and Sociable combined to get their 6th. And well, that is the second round. We can now actively say BBL have won off throwing a fake with 2 different players doing it.
Yeah, but again, this is it for FUT. On those low buys, we've seen them over-rotate. Here, they lean towards what has been successful for them. They make that early call. And hell, you see a pit go down like that. It's not on the site, so it's a little suspicious. Alarm bells could be ringing, but it could also be used to secure the site when they take elbow.
It's how late it is as well. Like I think there was like 25 seconds there. If you see a pit go down, you go, oh, they're panicking. Like they're using that to get space. whereas it wasn't. BBL were in full control. And I think it really does give testament to Yumpy as a leader, how confident he is in his players to make those sort of calls. Good start though for Yedajay. As said, they still have finances to buy back into this round, and an early pick onto Levin. Oh, we'll see if BBL can recover from that.
Well, the importance can't be understated as well for FUT. Winning and losing now, their economy's in a really tough spot. If they lose here, BBL could go out with a big lead into that next half. They've already found an opening. Mr. Fallen's reveal was fantastic. In goes the ult, and it's caught one. Magnum looking to follow up on it as well, making sure they can't break him out, but that has gone badly wrong. Magnum's left alone now, and out of ammo. The shorty's not quite gonna work out. A very important round for FUT, but it will be secured.
You can see the difference. Like, this is sort of the gamble that FUT are playing of having all their players rotate so quickly. It's like the round before, where you see them fully faked out and given that post-plant away, it's a problem. A round where they have all their players here as quickly as they do in this round, it works fantastically. So even when a player is picked off by that deadlock ultimate, it really doesn't matter too much, because while people are focusing on trying to kill everyone else, there's still 3 players ready and waiting. And while you mentioned the economy of FUT being on the brink, the same was for BBL. They are now in an awful spot to try and buy into this round.
Yeah, indeed. It's a spot for BBL now where they come into this, they call a timeout, you look to see what you can make happen with the low weapons, but realistically, you're now setting your sights on a 7-5 lead at the halftime and winning that final round, doing okay here, maybe gathering some info, because this is also an opportunity for FUT to understand that, okay, look how they found the opening there. It's a reveal coming through from Mr. Fallen as the Hunt spots Levin. You get the swing in from Yedajay thanks to the cage. These are all pieces of utility that will have been clocked by the BBL coaching staff. You may look to reposition, you may look to change that setup a little bit, because you imagine BBL will look to either counter it or break their way through somewhere else. There you go, Tom. That one's for you.
Yeah. 2 of them are not playing in this match, so a very weird fun fact. I'm also bald, in case anybody was wondering. Good job, whoever wrote that one. 6-4.
There.
We're going to be having a purchase of sorts. It's more of a half buy. Coming in for the side of BBL. They will look to buy into the next. They've had some time to talk with their coaching staff, maybe trying to pick up a gap. Selling at least a little bit into mid. Now the Outlaw hasn't quite managed to do the damage that was hoped for. BBL, after selling some of that presence into mid, are going to default back to A.
CNET to look to hold the line. This will be a big swing coming his way. It is the weaker weapons. TP in, CNET's in the open, but they're a little late and swinging into him. He even makes it around the corner, so can't be punished. The timing there for BBL, not ideal. The hope for Levin to walk through mid has been shut down by Cracks, and now Sociable. 1 versus 5, nice start, but not a nice finish for BBL. Only 1 player down, 6-5 locked in, and a lead at the half is not guaranteed for BBL. They'll have to fight hard for it.
No, this has been an excellent recovery. Sure, there's been the couple of fakes that BBL managed to sell, but you consider that BBL won the pistol and conversion, and the 6 half looks quite likely. FUT have definitely woken up into this game. Zeus and CNED both online, which is a FUT fan's dream. Like, if they're both firing, there's a good chance that they're going to take the match. With an operator into CNED's hands. Early smoke set up to help his teammate, but he's about to get aggressive.
They've heard that trap, but the idea was CNED fights as they break it. Too many players there for that to work out, and Yedajay's caught on the walk back. A good read and a great spam indeed, and a 5 versus 3 for BBL as a result.
Cracks from up above, but doesn't need to risk too much here. Wants to try and group up with the rest of the team. Has a chance to maybe isolate Levin, but after the trap was shot, they now know exactly where he is. Hunter's Fury also in, and they're just throwing everything in at this point. Obviously, the last round of the half, Zeus will get one as a martyrdom, and unless Mr. Farland's found his plot armor again, I don't think this half is going to be equal. At the end of it, Shock Dart's going to take him even lower. At this point, though, the time should be enough. Still sociable fighting. I think it's the clock is going to do the work. But more importantly, Yumpy just hiding in the backline is going to make sure of it.
No, he shock darted him from the grave as well. He had that bow and arrow drawn and ready the whole time. 7-5, locked in for BBL. They will have the lead at the half, but not without a fight. This was a great recovery from FUT. They were down and they looked out of this map at a point. And that Sheriff round that they found towards this site, the rotate in from CNED to shut them down on mid, rotating back. This was so important, so integral to give them a corner to fight from, a foundation laid. They will look to build on it in the second half. Well, I told you we'd talk a little bit more about Levin and Zeus, and we'll certainly be touching on that in this second half, Tom. These two players have put up numbers, Levin with a crazy ace that really padded those stats, but the consistency's been there for Zeus as well. This is certainly an exciting setup for this second half and for the series in general.
Yeah, for sure. I think that Zeus has had some quieter weeks as of recent. Of course, that's the stage 2 stats, excluding the one that are on your screen right now. But they're going to need him today. And so far, he's been there, having some good rounds. Obviously, 11 with an ace has padded his stats maybe a little bit further, but the difference down to just one. FUT must win this match to qualify for playoffs, by the way.
Yes, but importantly, Vitality, watching along at home, will be wearing the FUT jersey today, at least certainly in spirit, as they need them to win in order to make its playoffs themselves after their victory earlier on this week. 2 rounds between them. FUT are climbing back in what looked to be an uphill battle. Now it's not actually that difficult. With a pistol round win, it could change it all, but BBL, they're solid in the pistols usually, and this mid-fight, that couldn't have been timed better. The second Zeus took a nade out, Levin took his head off.
This is a tough position once again to fight back from, losing both pistols and a map. It feels like a death sentence. Again, CNED has been very sneaky throughout this match so far. We saw it on the defensive side, and there is some doubt in Magnum's mind. He's continuously pushing back and checking his behind. The timing's going to be everything, and he gets his spot on. Nice work from Levin, of course, continuing that run of form. So that was the one bit of danger in the end, and BBL managed to get through it with ease.
I realize also I misspoke. I meant to say they'll be wearing the BBL jersey. FUT, Vitality need BBL to win. If FUT wins, Vitality are locked out. Just to clarify that for anyone that might be confused.
Let's go!
So BBL winning, it's also a win for Vitality. 8-5, 3 rounds between them, and now it's on to pistols again for FUT. And this is it. Look at the pistol win rate. That is now with that pistol calculated in 61.1% for BBL. They're such a hard team to beat when they're putting up so many pistol rounds, because it just gives them this leg up in a half that often they do pretty well in even after that.
This round for FUT, as you can already see, is more about garnering orbs. Try and get towards those high-impact ultimates, although not really earning any kills in the last round. It's definitely made that more difficult. They're going, at least, for null command, looking to try and take that utility offline, which I guess is interesting because the Sentinel that's being run is sort of more reactive in its util. Levin, though, well, he has a very good chance to farm. That ultimate is getting closer and closer by the second, and with him already getting a triple in the last round, I'd like to see FUT go the other way just to not walk into him.
By the way, the fact that he takes his Sheriff out and stays fighting close, if I'm his teammates, I'm screaming, don't give them the Outlaw, please. We've already had rounds from Mr. Fallen where he recovers, but you give an Outlaw to CNED when your whole team has light shields, we are in a very scary reality. But when he goes back, it's with a teammate. It's Yumpy leading the charge and an in-zone flawless locked in. You could tell for a second, though, Levin was hungry for that fourth ace.
I think Levin's always hungry. I think he's
Look,
in most of these rounds, he's looking for a power-sized kebab, which, if you know the team, that's a decent-sized one. And I think, honestly, like, he wants to hunt for those kills. He wants to gain that confidence. He wants to get those ultimates online because he is the sort of crown jewel of this team. When he is on point, they are unstoppable.
9-5. The early starts from BBL very much propping them up here. As now it will be FUT that have to answer back. And rifles in their hands. Only one set of light shields, so difficult for Levin to find an easy target. A wall to break through here as BBL trying to slow them, but they're losing quite a lot. Profec's down to 34, Sociable's out of the round. This is now a difficult battle for BBL to win.
Yeah, Sociable was hoping to sort of recover that a little bit. I think he heard the net connect on someone just behind the wall and knows roughly where they were going to be.
Poison's off.
Of course, they did still come into this round with rifles across the board. Yumpy buying one back up. Magnum's positioning is sublime. Getting a second's going to be difficult, though. Not quite able to connect, and FUT are doing well to sort of catch a lot of that aggression. They're clearly looking for it. They're being patient with it, knowing that they're going to be fought.
40 seconds, eventually. That recon would go out from Yumpy, but I mean, he's now heard them. I'm pretty sure he will have heard at least one set of steps coming towards Elbow.
30 seconds left.
He's suspicious and walking out towards shore, but the problem is the player on site, the player in the smoke, 34 HP on Profec. He is going to be so easily taken down if they're looking the right way. But with 18, that's it. The paranoia went through, but Yumpy had already peaked. That's FUT winning the duels, and Levin left with it all to do. 4 players, 2 of them, 1 shot to this rifle, but 2 very healthy and ready to fight up against this man.
Sheriff out. Oh, Sniper back out. Oh, Stun out. And eventually, he's out. It's going to be a 6th round for FUT. A comfortable one as well. And it's what I like to see from them in these sort of buy rounds is that it seems like they are well aware of what their opponents are going to want to be doing. The player that gets stunned out, retreating, they're moving as a unit to try and find where this aggression has been. Okay, we managed to win this fight, but there's going to be another one. They're going to be pressured. And I think that that's just showing that sort of solid structure that at times in the past FUT have been missing.
Everyone's getting involved now. We've heard Zeus. Obviously, it's infectious having Yedage on your squad. 9-6, though. It's been a 2-1 start in both halves. When the rifles come out, it was different. I think it was 5-1 in favor of FUT at some point, and that kind of momentum early cannot be afforded to them here. That would leave FUT down and out of this map.
That's nice.
Fighting on Ascent.
Okay.
For survival. What was Yumpy up to? He didn't expect them to walk through the smoke. Good timing by Zeus, and a very valuable opening pick for the attacking side.
But it's the pressure on the other side of the map. They use that flash combination with the Prowler to make sure there is absolutely nowhere for Levin to go. And because of seeing quite a bit of utility on that side, they go, okay, there's probably nobody in middle, but I will check. Levin, he's trying to recover. The second player in the corner, though, that's cheeky. It's caught FUT off guard and at least made this one look competitive. Magnum's got to be careful, though. He's almost taken down by the Fragment. Oh, they're going to know he's here, but they still don't know where Sociable is.
It's time to group up. Now they'll push together. Even if FUT look to isolate these angles, they have so much to be worried about. There goes the orb up. The players have made it behind it. That's going to give all the time in the world for BBL to clear out these angles. The net goes through. The tap as well. It's put pressure on. FUT have to peek this, have to swing. Yedage takes a headshot, but he's still on 10 HP. The Phantom not doing Sociable well, and now Magnum's got it all to do. He'll miss the first shot, and Yedage's timing couldn't be better. 9-7 now. And FUT not letting BBL have that early start they would have wanted to close out this map.
I really like the reaction. As said, like, you can understand why Yumpy is caught off. It's because of how much pressure was shown over on A main, but they are ready to try and dive into mid and have that split if they needed it. So far, the early rounds on this attack side have looked really comfortable for FUT. Like, a solid read in the way they've been playing.
Oh, here's a deep, aggressive play from Profect. Willing to take a few more risks with these pistols in hand. Levin, ult, active, but Yedije drops him immediately. Lightning fast reaction. Sociable should have a weapon here. And a 3v3 with Cracks low. It's not the clean round that no doubt FUT would have been hoping for. With the utility deactivated, this should be an easy enough sight push. Great damage from Yumpy. This is getting dangerous now for the attackers. They've got two players very low, and CNED taken down by a headshot. This is terrifying. With only a fraction of his health bar left, Mr. Fallen's all alone and flanked on by Sociable. A pay safeguard thrifty puts BBL 3 rounds up and 3 rounds away from claiming Sunset.
Oh, that one's got to be so painful for FUT. They were in such a solid position, building back into the half. As said, they lost both pistols. It's always going to be difficult, but then just a super aggressive start from a couple of the players. And then just, yeah, at the end, I think looking a little bit panicky, like wanting to try and find a way back into the round after being low on HP. And it ends up playing perfectly into BBL's hands. A huge boost to their economy with the weapons found and damage done on the other side. A blitz in the early moments, and yeah, Yumpy gets away with that one. That's a huge opener for them.
Yeah, the initial fight trading back Levin's aggression was solid by Zeus. And you look to that man himself to maybe pull them back into it. He's got the showstopper, but his show's being closed off early. Off the air for now is Yedije all alone and watched by Magnum on the cross back through mid. This one cancelled at the pilot for FUT. 7-11 with their economy in the bin.
This is now a really rough position to fight back from. It's the back-to-back aggressive defensive side rounds, like the pistols doing it, but now doing the same thing with the rifles. I think maybe there might have been a moment there for FUT where they were thinking, okay, they're probably going to take this round a little bit more tentative, but having that Hunter's Fury, having Levin as your centerpiece, it gave them that double opener, and then even just a re-swing, like they're never really giving FUT any space, any ground. That's why they've had to play sort of slow and group up together. Nonetheless, there's still an opportunity. Jonta given the chance to talk to the team, try and bring back what little hope there is left, because as you said, financially, this is tough.
Without a doubt, yeah. It's the scoreline itself is obviously difficult, even if you were coming into a bye round, but the fact that you're seeing so few credits in play, this is going to make this incredibly difficult. You've got 5 rounds in a row. If you lose this one, they can look to the fact that they were good with the pistols on the defensive side, but making the right reads, being in the right places at the right time, that's what got them across the line there. Here on the attack side, BBL have a lot more tools at their disposal, and I love this as we get back into the game. You know, sometimes everyone goes through a low point. Mental health's important, but if Pal ever feels worthless, he knows that the meat in his bones alone could net him about 2K. 2,000 euro for a Pal-sized doner kebab and 140,000 calories within it. Depends how much sauce you get in it. A sucker for the hot chili.
I think if something is 140,000 calories, it has to have some sort of... if that's just meat, then I think that's just a cow at that point.
I wouldn't call him that, but...
Sociable. A chance to... I was going to say farm up orbs, but from this point, that's not true. Already having the annihilation available, but he is just farming up some... Well, some points, I guess. Some tricky points.
He's got himself the ultimate already online for the important closer to this. Magnum reloading. Levin sliding around and Sociable the one to claim his 4th in this round. That is an unfortunate way to go, and an in-zone flawless for BBL. 5 rounds in a row required by the attacking side.
That felt like, you know the video where it's like the guy on the news, and he's trying to have that serious like interview, and then his kid comes like running into the background? Yeah. That's Levin. Like, they're about to have like an intense 1v1, and then Levin's just sliding around the floor while they're trying to battle. It looked manic, but hey, it's worked out for BBL.
Just for Scott, it's like Michael D. Higgins and his dog. It's our president over in Ireland. He's a good man, good fellow. 5 rounds in between them. Big play needed by FUT. BBL certainly have control. Sociable's ult could do wonders. And remember, the reason I'm focusing on that side and not the plethora of ultimates for FUT is BBL only need 1 round. One thing to go right, and it's done. FUT have to temper themselves.
Oh, dear.
Already, the showstopper's been put to a close. FUT in a 3 versus 4, even after a high-value ultimate is used.
This is gone from a close back and forth game to looking fairly dominant, although maybe a slight overextension from Magnum fighting into the spawn, hoping to catch them out, but has given up a large portion of the map. Sensors being spotted as well by Cena, but he's ignoring them. The space is worth more. Sociable has already made the cross though.
It's his ult I'm thinking about here. When you go for that plant, with players close by, with a flank coming
not
in.
Anymore. I think he got caught by the knife.
That's beautiful. That's all they needed, and the trap's revealed as well, so easily destroyed. You've removed the utility, you've removed the threat of the ult, but it may still be put through. All they need to do is buy time, take the eyes of their opponents and direct them towards the spawn. Caught in a fight, Sociable only gets 1. It's a difficult battle, but not impossible for Yampi. The right read uses the reveal as a distraction to isolate CNED. He will be revealed himself, and they know he's not on the spike, but he's close to getting the fight that he wants. Mr. Fallen around the other side, though. A perfect reposition, and a great round from Mr. Fallen, dragging FUT back into this game, but a 4-round gap persists.
Yeah. He's moved himself up the board quite a bit, but he's already had his high-impact moments, especially from the beginning of this round. It felt like an impossible recovery. A double opener for Levin, but it's Magnum trying to catch them and knowing that somebody's pushed that far up B. CNED makes the read. Okay, if there's somebody that far up, there probably isn't anybody on the B site. Takes the space and gives them that opportunity in the post plant. It's a blip, but we know with FUT, you give them anything and there's always a chance that they'll turn it around.
I agree with you there, Tom, but you look at that round with CNED's ult, Mr. Fallen, Zeus is put through, like they had a lot to bail them out of that bad situation. That's why you didn't see Sociable get too aggressive in retaking the B site. He rotated early.
I love Zeus's ult, where he immediately died.
Yeah. It wasn't great. And it was this man who shut them down last time they came to this side of the map, but this time, CNED's the one to draw blood first. FUT with the advantage. Yedege with the hat off his head. He's got the information on exactly where these players are. But the spike's been left outside B for good reason. Mr. Fallen has walked his way through. He's claimed so much space, and Magnum had no idea what he was walking back into.
Yeah, the leader of the squad is doing some real work, not even just on finding the pick, but more so the amount of space that he took with it, realizing off the back of the neural theft exactly where the gap was and exploiting it to perfection. What was seeming like a done deal just a couple of minutes ago is now really starting to come to life. And they're even reading the few minute angles that there are left. They forced him back into the hands of CNED, and that is an in-zone flawless. FUT are definitely back into this map.
Without a doubt, Tom. I mean, that's one of the rounds where you look at past the opening kill, they didn't just win this because they won their battles. They won it because they were in the right positions. They caught BBL off guard in almost every single fight in that round. That is a dominant round. And that's exactly what you want to see if you have to climb back into a game. You've outplayed them. You've forced a timeout on 12 for BBL, and that's putting the pressure on the players on the other side of the stage.
Well, ironically, it's the quote from BBL that this round sort of resonates with, which is belief is everything. And I think you win a round like that, and you genuinely go, well, if we can win a round flawlessly, we can win 3 close. Like it is just that thing of getting the momentum going. Like Mr. Fallen having a big individual round, getting everybody pumped up. We saw it in the last half. Yep. They were not in the game. they win a pistol round in a low buy, and then they seem to mysteriously just start playing better as a unit. And sure, you've had some quieter performances like Krax and Yedege not having the best of games so far, but from this point onwards, it really doesn't matter what has happened before. It's all about getting it to OT. And that is why BBL are looking to stop it as early as possible. It also happens to line up perfectly with when their credits will run out. If they lose this next round, the likelihood is FUT will get to 11. Although I say likelihood because we've already seen both teams win rounds with pistols so far in this game.
Well, a 3-round gap. As we said, still a big fight, and whilst we've had even that ultimate from Yedege, the impact of it in the previous can't be understated. It gave that space, it gave the go-ahead for Mr. Fallen to walk in to beat. Now you have ults activated by BBL. This is where they look to say, we're gonna close it out. We win here and now, before this gets too far gone in the other direction. Viper's Pit active on the A site. This is a lot of space contained by the defensive side. All that Magnum has to do is stay kind of close to the wall, not let them slip through the cracks. And if anyone does walk in there, it should be an easy pick. The Prowler will be sent through, and it does catch him. And they're blocking him out from controlling that space. So now you start to think, if you're Magnum, they could be an elbow. They could have that space. Look at the position and how cautious you were seeing the retake of that control from Profect be. So this buys them a little bit of space, even though they don't get a kill, they don't get rid of the pit. They've put question marks in BBL's head.
Yeah, I think the question marks are being answered though. The dart into middle, the shots being fired. The spike is still on the ground, so it's something that they'll have to go back for. And while now the fight from Sociable hasn't gone to plan, a good start, but the problem for FUT is that the time is starting to tick. Yumpy as well, with the spam through the smoke, has already leveled things up, and they now go walking back towards this B site. They've cleared one into middle. But the man on that site, ready and waiting, and with Yumpy holding the cross, Levin in with a good chance here. 15 seconds, they have got to go now.
There's no way to bring that spike back, nor was there, even when they got that pick on mid. They've got to push their way through. Shoehorn this B site plant, and they're running out of time. It has to be stuck, and it will be. That's some control. The advantage as well, but that op still lurking around. As Magnum draws their eye, tries to bait them out into the open. It's Levin who looks to take them down. A drop shot, and he's got one. Ult active, another, so close, but seen it. Keeps FUT in the game. 2 rounds now.
It did feel like for a moment it was going to be Levin closing it out. He's had plenty of crazy plays throughout this match so far. But this is what I mean when I talk about a different looking FUT. This was a very slow, methodical round. They're taking time to clear things out. And sure, walking into Levin's operator with 15 seconds left, it made me nervous, but the trades on getting in there was superb, and in their post plant, they're able to hold on. The economy not quite busted for BBL, but it definitely isn't good. Yumpy left down to a Guardian. Rifles were retained on the remaining players. It really does feel like that momentum has had a big swing.
Yeah, CNET as well in that clutch never lost sight of what was important. He could have swung in, the off would have got him. Here's a big play. Prowler flash, Yumpy sent running. A main control taken by FUT, something they were denied in the previous round because of that Viper's Pit. But now they can take their hit towards this site. Mr. Fallen just one away from the Nightfall. It will be KO to remove the abilities of this defensive side. Even still, Yumpy remains close. He finds one, swings in. This could be it. With Yedege so desperately low, it's Zeus who has to bail him out.
Look at the
res onto Krax as well. That keeps numbers in their favor, even with the battle scars evident on Yedege's health bar.
Unfortunately for Yumpy, his ult came online, but never really had a chance to use it. Sociable, finding a gap would be important. If they can bring this round close, that ult could come into play, but otherwise there's still going to be 3 players that they'd have to find along the way. There's that first. Maybe waiting to see if anybody reveals themselves, but it hasn't worked out. The ult failing and the trades are just sublime from the side of FUT. The hold is even better and the climb back is continuing. It looked like this was going to be a close game, and then BBL had a streak of rounds. Well, FUT have just done the same.
Sociable wasn't wrong to pop the ult there, especially going towards default. It's the most likely place for someone to be, but I think they were just too aware that this is the round where you're going to get desperate. You look up at the top of the screen, you see that yellow color behind Sociable's character. You know Deadlock is going to be sending that cocoon to seize someone. So a great read by FUT to then play out of position, not be caught off by that, and then pounce towards those spawn players, leave a lurker on short as well. Everything working out. And this, what looked to be a near impossible comeback into the game.
Yeah.
We said it, momentum for FUT, such a big deal. And now, this could be their game. It could be OT at least. The ult from Yumpy, it does damage, but Zeus survives.
Yeah. I will say as well, I love the way that FUT have been controlling the A site throughout this game. Like, especially just this early corridor of aggression. They know that Levin likes to play here. And once or twice, he has been successful, but it's the Prowler flash. They've been doing this a lot, where they just pop flash, Prowler. So if there's a player there, they're blinded and have to retreat. It's just brilliant. It has caused so many problems for BBL, and means that BBL are now super passive. They're back on the A side because they don't want to fight this.
Profek out of smokes. He can't put that one way up. Yumpy's crept up so close as a player sat in mid on his camera. It's an easy pickup. Levin holding strong in the elbow. And they'll look to fight together on short. I love this. Backing off if they don't get that battle. There's no need to fight elbow. There's no need to take those duels as it's a 5v3. Time is of the essence, and Yumpy just pops the reveal and runs away. He heard the steps. He doesn't want to get isolated.
20 seconds.
19 seconds, and the spike will go back towards the A site, but they still haven't cleared it out. Magnum is still lurking there as Profek buys them even more time. That spike needs to be planted, and all Magnum has to do is deny. It's done! 13 to 11, and it ends with an end zone flawless for BBL.